Okay, to touch base on this one really quick, I saw that I did this wrong in the last video. I didn't make it negative when I multiplied by my -4. So it was -4 times x squared plus 14x plus 49 minus 6. So then this becomes -4x squared minus 56. X minus 196 minus 6. Yes. Then this becomes -4x squared minus 56x minus 202. So the last video was incorrect. Always double check with Desmos. I will show you how that's done. You're going to type this in Desmos and you're going to type this in Desmos and see if it's correct. So we're going to come over here. Actually, let's clear these all and say -4 times x plus 7 close parentheses squared. Oops, that's not squared. Minus 6. Then we'll also say -4x squared minus 56x minus 202. And then it covered my red graph. So there's my red. Oops, I can move the red down and now I see it. I can move the blue down and now I don't see it. See the red, see the blue. Okay, so typically when I turn one off, oops, other way around. I turn one off, I can see the other. So red, blue, they should be the same. That's what it looks like when you're checking in Desmos. All right, now that that's fixed, let me go on to this one. Again, this is a Desmos guy. 1/2 x minus 4 squared minus 2. Type it in Desmos. And then we're going to type each one of these in Desmos to see which one is correct. So we've got 1/2. I'm going to use 0.5 times x minus 4 squared minus 2. Hit the house button so I can see it. There she goes. And then this one. Let's start with the first one. 1/2 x squared minus 4x plus 6. Immediately covered it, then that's my answer right there. I shouldn't have to type in any other ones because I can see that they're correct. Okay, or that this one's correct. So come over here. This is my answer. Boom. This is my answer over here. And then everybody else is wrong. Wrong, wrong. All right, let's go on to the back. What is the solution here? Remember, our most important number is 0, okay? Our most important place is on the x-axis when we are finding the solution. That's part of rocks. Roots, zeros, x-intercepts, and solutions, okay? Do I have a 0 here? Does this equal 0? No, so I have to make it equal 0. In order for me to do that, I've got to take 135 from both sides. 4x squared plus 12x minus 135 equals 0. Okay, then just type in 4x squared plus 12x minus 135 into Desmos. Do not type in that minus 0. Come over here, clear it out. 4x squared plus 12x minus 135. Now check to see, this is 1 0 and this is another 0. Negative 7.5 and 4.5. If I don't know what those are as decimal or as fractions, excuse me, I can come type in negative 7.5 as long as it's a terminating decimal. When y'all get these long decimals like 0.666666666, that's not a terminating decimal because it goes on and on. Terminate means to end. So this one does not end. I know that this is 2/3 because I know what that is. This is a benchmark fraction. 9 times out of 10 they give us benchmark fractions. Okay? Anyway, Negative 7.5. If it is a fraction, then you need to convert the fractions that are given to you. So it might say like negative 19 halves, negative 15 halves, negative 25 halves, and negative 9 halves. I've got to find the one that matches this negative 7.5. I can either type it in myself and then convert it to a fraction, or I can go match the other ones and see that this is the one that I need right here. Delete, delete, delete. So these are saying the same thing. So this is one of my zeros. The other one is 4.5. Clear that out. 4.5. Turn that into a fraction, 9 halves. So when I come back over here, my solution, my x, my root, my 0 is 9 halves and negative 15 halves, or negative 7.5 and 4.5. If you're watching this video, I got 5 points towards your test if you do the same exact step that I did here for this problem here. So you must show me the work, you must show me your solution as a fraction and a decimal in order for you to get the 5 points extra. This is a totally different question. All right, the next one, 5x squared minus 36x plus 36. This goes straight into Desmos. Delete 5x squared plus 36x, minus 36x plus 36 at the end. Look at my zeros, boom, bam, 1.2 and 6. 1.2, turn it into a fraction, 6/5. X equals 6/5 and 6. X equals 1.2 and 6. Both of these are acceptable. All right, it says number 13. I don't know why it skips 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, but here we are. It says the graph f of x was transformed to create a graph g of x. So as soon as you see f of x equals x squared, that's the parent function. The parent needs to go in order for the children to come out. Oops. X squared. There's the parent. Here's the child. G of x equals f of x minus 9. So I started at the red and I ended at the blue. I ended up going down by 9 spaces. Here I started at 0, 0, then I went down the y-axis by 9. So this goes down 9 units. Oops. This is 9 units to the right. This is 9 units to below. This is a reflection. This is a reflection. No, the only time we do a reflection is if we see the opposite of x squared. This is where we see a reflection. Okay, so my answer here, let me go back to my highlighter, is D. Here are my answers. Here are my answers. Here's the +5 towards your test. +5 points. Also, this whole thing must be done as well. You can't just get the bonus points for doing that. Okay. Here it says the graph of a quadratic function p is shown on the grid. If k of x equals x squared, okay, well, then let me just come over here and change k. And p of x equals k of x. Oh, well, then let's bring this back. P, k. What is the value of n? So I need to look at my vertex here. My vertex is always the giveaway. Okay, this is kind of hard to make out, but I'm going to count the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 0, -6. So I need to play around with this over here and make my equation or my vertex -6. So I can play around and I can add 6. Nope, that went up 6. I can make it -6. Oh, that went down 6. And that's exactly where I landed. So this variable would be -6. Alrighty, it says the graph of quadratic parent function f was transformed to create the graph g of x equals f of x plus 2 minus 5. Okay, I'm going to keep the same thing here. We're just going to call it k of x equals x squared. That's the parent function. And then p of x equals k of x plus 2 minus 5. I need to type this into Desmos. So let's go do it. Plus 2 on the inside, plus 2, minus 5 on the outside, minus 5. Now I need to look for my vertex. This is -2, -5. So I need to find a graph that matches this, and it goes through 0, -1 only on the y-axis, but we never really need that point. So H is the only one that works. This guy right here. -2, -5. I can also make note of that from my vertex there. Remember, the inside is always the opposite of that. So typically when we add along the x-axis, we go to the right, but we're doing the opposite, so it goes to the left. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it goes down 5. Left 2, down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's the left 2 and down 5. And remember, my parent always starts at the origin. Then over here, it says the following function is reflected over the x-axis. Write the new equation. This one. Remember, the reflection is up here. So I need to change this in order for it to be reflected. So instead of it being this, it has to flip. So make sure to write, and you can call it g of x, and then copy down what I just circled at the top. Bonus points for this too. I'll add one more bonus point. I can't spell bonus. Bonus points plus 1. So you can get a total of 6 bonus points towards your test. If you have this completed, you have all your work shown, especially on the front, which I did on the first video, and you've got your tables written here, your answers filled in here, and this is fixed the proper way, not for the first video. All right, good luck on your test tomorrow, guys.